Good afternoon, guys, or good morning, I guess. Depends where you are in the world. It's Nick at Optimum PS. As ever, thanks very much for coming back to my channel. I really do appreciate your support. So today's video, I wanted to get into this, and the title of the video is to prepare or expect the best, but prepare for the worst. And the reason I wanted to get into that is I'm seeing an awful lot of stuff out there on the World Wide Web at the moment, on the internet. There's so many different opinions. Some people think the SEC are going to appeal this case. Some people think there's no chance. Some people think that the price is going upwards. Some people think we're going to have a pullback. There seems to be all these different things out there. And the simple fact is, we all, I think, believe we're in the early stages of a bull market. I think we're already in a bull market, to be honest. I think we're in bull markets don't just go straight up. They go up, then they come back a bit, then they carry on a little bit again. I think we're in the early stages. But I think it's really good advice to expect good news, but prepare for the worst case scenario, depending on what that worst case scenario is, right? But before we get into it all, as you know, my name's Nick. I am a financial advisor. I'm absolutely not your financial advisor. I don't know you, you don't know me. I couldn't possibly dream of giving you financial advice. So anything I say or do today is not to be taken as financial advice in any way or form. I'm just a bloke on the internet sharing my opinion, just like you guys share your opinions. And hopefully there's a little bit of knowledge in there. There's a little bit of a different perspective. If we all share our own perspectives and knowledge, then we can all sort of take something away from that and leave slightly more knowledgeable than we began the day, right? Which is the idea of all this. So hopefully that all makes sense. Absolutely not financial advice today, but I wanted to get into the video and talk about where we are. So just taking a look around the world, the crypto world is in a not overly dissimilar place than it was a couple of days ago. Things aren't moving a great deal. They might pop up and down ever so slightly here and there. Bitcoin sat at 58,207, 58,201 now as it's just flicked through. It's up about 1.6% in the last hour. But over the 7 days, it's down. Over the last 30 and 60 days, it's down as well, in fact. XRP, which is normally the theme of my channel, what most of my my audience are here to listen to me yap on about. We're about 1.19 up. We're nearly 1.2 up, isn't it, in the last hour, but we're nearly 9% down on the week. But if you do look over at the 60-day period, we're still actually 15.8% up over 60 days, or 1.53 over 30 days. So things are still moving in the right direction, just perhaps not as quickly as we all would like. But I want to look at some of the people out there, some of the ideas out there today, because there's differing opinions on the market. But in the grand scheme of things, people still seem to think we're about to see some great movements. So fear and greed index was sat at 41, which is just into neutral away from the fear. But realistically speaking, people aren't that bullish right now. But going on to just really some of the posts I've seen, right? We're taking a look through. This is one from Crypto Insights UK. I don't know if you know this guy, but if you don't, please follow him. He's really good. He comes up with some great information. But what he says, 2 cycles ago, XRP was about the best performing asset. Last cycle, XRP was in a uniquely negative position because of the lawsuit, of course, yet maintained its position in the top 10 of assets by market cap. And it stayed there all the way through, right? It's never dropped out of that top 10. That unique position is more or less over. Don't underestimate what XRP can do. And again, by that, he means the lawsuit is basically done. 3.5 years of marketing and partnerships may be about to be unleashed. Maybe there's nothing, maybe there's something. This I don't know. But what I do know is if it can hang, not to be the leader, but still hang on, talking about XRP again now, after being singled out by the SEC, chances are it does at least okay this cycle now with the pressure being relieved. That's just a straight non-emotional thinking. So he's optimistic, right? He's not being ridiculous. He's not going over the top. He's not saying we're going to see, but he's basically saying, look at what Ripple have been doing in the background, 3.5 years of marketing and partnerships. It's actually more like 10, 15 years of marketing and partnerships, isn't it? But he's just talking about the last 3.5 years specifically. They've gone out, they've laid the foundations. This company is ready to go. The coin, therefore, is ready to go. I think things like regulations will come in and help. I think the way that the RLUSD, as it will be the stable coin that Ripple are going to release will come in, and all these things are going to complement each other. But what he's basically saying there is be optimistic. We expect the coin XRP to do well this cycle. The fact that it didn't do well last cycle is explainable with the lawsuit. So he's quite optimistic on that one. We move on. We've got Dr. Magic. Again, this guy shares some really good things. If you don't know Dr. Magic, give him a follow. Basically, he's put here, saw your comment about Bollinger Bands getting tighter on the monthly. So here's a very interesting chart at Charting Guy. That's an interaction he's had with someone called Charting Guy. But use XRP dominance to filter all the noise that XRP USD creates. XRP shows clear outperformance of the market while reversing from a level it always preceded the biggest pumps with monthly volatility at all-time lows. Most primed coin in the market by far. And then he's tagged Ripple in the post. So what he's basically highlighting is this here. I know you can't see my cursor, but I'm circling right down at the bottom of the XRP dominance. You can see it's hit that point where we expect it, or he expects it now to bounce back. If we see when it's hit before, going back to would have been sort of 2018, 17, 18, wouldn't it? It hit and we saw the big booms. It hit again in sort of 2021 when the last bull market cycle came in. We saw a huge candle. It didn't, but we saw it move upwards and pump again. Not quite the same because that lawsuit was on. And this is only the next time it's hit the same point on that dominance chart. So we expect it to push forwards and rally off. He hasn't given a price on this one, but he's just showing, as he says, the most primed coin in the market by far. Moving on, we've got Ammonix. Again, Ammonix is a more optimistic person, I would say. I do see some of his posts. What he's put, really simple, is XRP to $50 is programmed, or $50 plus actually. Patience is all you need. Now, okay, you get some different comments on that on the side. Not everyone 100% agrees with him, but the logic is there. You see this here where he shows it before, where they found that sort of support line, and eventually in 2017 we saw the huge boom. He's highlighting a very similar pattern in the chart. We're coming back down to that support line again, and he's suggesting a boom. He doesn't say exactly where it's going to go to, but he says $50 plus is programmed. $50 for me doesn't seem out of the question. I see some of these guys that think $1,000, $10,000, and I think that's ridiculous. If you asked me to put a number on it, I would probably go a bit lower than $50 this cycle. I might be absolutely wrong. I'd be over the moon if I am, and it goes to 250 or something like that. But I think $50, $60 isn't in any way or form out of the question, right? If you just look at how things have performed in the past, even using that really basic rule of thumb, the last couple of bull runs, Bitcoin virtually trebled twice in a row, and we missed the last one. So we hit $3.80. Trebling from there would have put us, let's call it $12 to keep it simple. And this time, if we were going to treble, that'd be at, $36, wouldn't it? And that's a really basic way of looking at things without any real, technical analysis behind it all. It's just using the rough rule of thumb. So I don't think he's been overly optimistic on that one. I think, to say $30, $40, $50 isn't beyond the realms of possibility. So I like that. You move on again. This is Crypto Assets Guy. If you have a look at this, again, he's choosing that symmetrical triangle there, and he hasn't put any actual estimation on this, but he's put when's XRP new all-time high, late 24, early 25. Just my humble opinion. He's shown a supposed breakout there, or where we might expect the breakout to come. And all he said is new all-time high, which puts us $3.80, $4. I think he probably expects it to go higher, but it's a nice conservative estimate there. Moving on, we have Dark Defender. Again, if you don't follow this guy, give him a follow. He comes out with some fantastic charts, some great analysis. This one is comparing XRP to BTC as a pair. And what he's basically saying is, again, considering the 3-monthly time frame, we started with July the 5th to August or September. The candle is bullish. The next candle is October 8, November 9, December. So 589 chart update is with you. And what he's basically suggesting here is, again, we're at that very bottom point from XRP's point of view, or Bitcoin's dominance point of view, and he expects it to rally on from around here. If we follow this, it takes it all the way up to the 0.011 Bitcoin point, which I think would put us at about $66 assuming a $60,000 Bitcoin. But of course, Bitcoin's likely to go up over this period as well, so it could be higher. But again, not beyond the realms of possibility. $66 for an XRP. Yes, okay, some people will jump and tell me it's not going higher than 66 cents. Some people might say $6.60. Not many people are claiming 66 plus anytime soon, but in the same respect, plenty of people are. You know, and people with these charts, with the technical analysis, people that know the way around charts better than me, they are suggesting that this thing is going to go up. The unanimous opinion here, you know, people differ on where they think it's going to get to, but the unanimous opinions here are it's going to go upwards, which is always good news. The final one we've got here is from Javon Marks, and again, Javon Marks is slightly more bullish than other people, but not always. You know, he still goes back to technical analysis. None of these guys are bad when it comes to analyzing the charts. They all have big followings, big reputations. People listen to what they've got to say. What Javon Marks says is XRP's target for this visual, if a bullish breakout were to take place today with a full logarithmic follow through, is to be at approximately $263. You heard that right, $263, suggesting from breakout areas and over 42,000% upside. XRP is nearing the converging point of a near 7-year consolidation pattern development and has displayed multiple bullish signals throughout, while holding some at this moment, suggesting that a bullish breakout can be more than possible. We toned it down a bit in prior posts for others, but to live for others and not yourself can be to not truly live to your full potential, and we are here to realize all of it and then some. The current full potential for XRP based on prior successful encounters using similar strategies can be well above $200 with similar follow-throughs. And he's put the chart in there to explain where he's coming from. Of course, what he's doing there is he's taking the previous big push there that we saw back in 1718, and he's applied that same on the logarithmic scale to today's breakout, which you can see why somebody would do that. Again, I'm a difficult one because in many respects I agree with the people that think that's just far too bullish for right now. In other respects, I know how these things work, and it's, you know, I know how numbers work. It's possible. There's no two ways about it. It is possible. I think we would probably need big adoption from the big institutions, tokenization, cross-border transactions, and things like that to kick in. But we don't actually need them to kick in. We just need the promise of them going to kick in. The institutions themselves would want to buy into XRP before that happened, because why would you pay $200 or something when you can buy it for 50 cents, right? So I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility. I think that's a bit bullish. I personally am not sat here holding my breath for a $200 XRP, but it's an opinion. It's an informed one. It's based on technical analysis, so I thought I'd share it. But going back to what I said before, regardless of how realistic or unrealistic you find all of these, the general consensus or the unanimous consensus is that everybody is expecting XRP to go upwards at some point very soon. I think if we work on that baseline of, you know, as I say in the title of this video, expect the best but prepare for the worst. I think worst case scenario is a new all-time high this bull run. Maybe we kiss it, you know, maybe we find it and we find a stability point. We find that acts as support moving forward so we don't get a lot more. I wouldn't be delighted at a $4 XRP. It wouldn't, no, that's not my target, but in the same respect, that wouldn't be a terrible position when we spent the last 4 or 5 years with a 40-cent XRP or whatever we've been used to seeing. So it's one of those things, guys. You know me, I don't like to get over the top. I'm not Mr. Wow, Mr. Knock your socks off, Mr. Pump, and only talk about the positives. I look at every angle. I like to put a different perspective on things. The simple fact of the matter is, though, these guys know what they're talking about. They know their way around charts. They're not basing this on their own personal fancies. They're not basing this on what they want to happen. They are analyzing the data and showing you if these charts follow the same patterns that we've come to expect from 100 years of chart analysis, technical analysis when it comes to the investment world, then we ought to see something similar to this. And again, whether they're saying $6, $60, or $260, the simple fact of the matter is they're all saying we're going to see a significant increase in the price of XRP. So, as I say, expect the best. Why not dream? Dream a little bit. Dream yourself $200. Do the maths in your head and see what that might be worth to you. Plan for the worst. I think if you plan for a $5 XRP, you won't be disappointed. I think if you plan for a $50 XRP and you get halfway there, well, that's not bad either, is it, right? So that's where I am in the world, guys. Listen, I don't want to go on all day. I wanted to run this by you. If you like what I say today, please do like and subscribe to the channel. I try and share some general information with you without going too deep. As I say, I really appreciate you all coming back. And if you could like, subscribe, share my channel, that would be really, really well appreciated. In the meantime, I wish you all the best. We're nearly there. If you take a look at all these guys, it's very, very rare that all these different opinions in the world agree that things are going upwards very soon. We are in a bull run. We are about to see some positive movement. Don't put a number on it. Don't expect the best and be disappointed with the worst outcome. Plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's basically where we're at. So, guys, I'll leave you with that thought. Thanks very much for your time today. All the best. Speak soon. Nick.